Welcome to the Python Learn Together, Code Together. Now in Python there is something a special data type called the tuples. The tuples means it's like a number of values which is separated by the commas. The values means it may be any numbers or any characters or strings like that. So we'll check in our Python interpreter. Mainly these tuples are immutable. That means it's exactly opposite of the mutable. That means we cannot able to alter the things. That is, it is immutable. We cannot able to alter its elements once if we define that. For example, now we'll check some of the properties of these tuples one by one. So in order to first define this tuple, the syntax is like I'm going to define one tuple called a equals to you not put any brackets in order to define this tuple. So just type a equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will create the tuple which contains the elements 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if we check the type of a, then you can see it is a class tuple. If we check a, the tuple which is always, it will give the output in this parenthesis in order to indicate is the tuple. So this is now the tuple a, which is consisting of the elements 1, 2, 3 and 4. Same as the list, we can even get the elements by using the indexing method. For example, if I just index a of but here in the indexing you should always use the square brackets. So a of 0 equals to, you can say this 1, and a of 1 it is equals to 2. Yeah, I hope you understand. It will give the, by using this index we can get the elements of this tuple. And if I just call this a, then you can see the tuples always shows us in this parenthesis that we need to understand. Or you can check the type of a, then it will give us here, you can see it's the class tuple. Then mainly these tuples are immutable. That means we cannot able to alter its elements once it is defined. We can redefine it, but we cannot able to alter its elements once it's defined. For example, now you can check here a equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if I want to change in the a, if I want to change the element which is in the second index to some other value. For example, instead of 3, if I want something called 10, then if I go to change like a of 0, 1 and 2, the index is 2, a of 2 equals to 10, then we'll get the error. Tuple object does not support item assignment. But in case of a list you can change. For example, b equals to, I'm going to define list 1, 2, 3 and 4, and in the list you can just call b of 2 equals to 10. Then here it shows that you can see the type of b, which is a list, but here the type of a, which is a tuple. So we cannot able to alter its value once it's defined. So here if we check the value of b, then you can see 1, 2, 10, 4, because the lists are mutable, but here the tuples are immutable. So that means these tuples in the tuples we cannot assign the value like this. If assign, we can check now, this is my tuple, then if I assign anything to a of 3 equals to 20, then it will give us the error. We can redefine it like a equals to, and here 1, 2, 10, 4. If I just redefine that, then you can check the value of a, it is 1, 2, 10, 4. But we cannot able to alter that once it is defined and is assigned to some tuple. This variable is assigned to some tuple. The next one is the tuple. They may be nested tuples. For example, now I have a equals to 1, 2, 10, 4, and I'm going to define another tuple, that is c. Okay, b we listed list, but c, now I'm using this c equals to I'm going to define 20 comma 30 comma, and here I'm going to define a. That means here a is already a tuple, and I'm using that tuple inside another tuple called c. So this tuple may be nested. We'll check. Yeah, now if we check the value of c, then you can see it's 20 comma 30 comma, and it is the another tuple. You can see we cannot able to alter this, but it is just a nested tuple. It's an example for a nested tuple, 20 comma 30, and this is our tuple that is equals to a. Since I defined here a, so I just use this a. So in this nested tuple, it has two elements, that is these two, and one tuple. And even this tuple, if you want to just define a empty tuple, then it is possible to define one empty tuple like okay, I'm going to define x, okay, yeah, x equals 2, and if you want to define an empty tuple, just use the two parentheses, empty parentheses. Then if I click enter, it will going to define empty tuple, the tuple which do not contain any elements. We can conclude that by type of x, then you can see it is a tuple. It does not contain any elements. So now I want to declare some tuple that contain only one element. For example, I want to define some tuple d equals to 3, that has to just contain only one element, that is 3. So for example, if I just click d equals to 3, because I told there is no any parenthesis required, but if I just write like this, then you can see the type of d, then it is give us the int. This is not the tuple, because it is just an assignment, d equal to 3, or you can see just in the previous sections we just assigned a number, so it considers it is an assignment. So in order to create a tuple with only one variable, we need to use d equals to, and here I need to use 3, and the main important thing is a trailing comma. It's called as a trailing comma, that means just one comma. If we write like d equals to 3 and one single comma, then it considers this as a tuple. Now if we check the value of d, then it considers 3 comma. If we check the type of d, then you can see it is a tuple. So we can access that element by just writing d in the index of 0. Then you can see it will just return as 3. It is not returning 3 comma, but here the comma is there in order to represent it is a tuple. So we can create an empty tuple, or the tuple which is having only one element, or we can call that as a singleton tuple. Another thing is that in tuple, if we write anything tuple like e equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, this is called as the tuple packaging. That means it is going to package those values, that is 1 2 3 4, inside this tuple name e. This is called as the tuple packaging. Here you can see those values 1 2 3 4 are gets packaged inside this tuple. So if you want to repack this, that means the process is called as the sequence repacking. So if you want to sequence repacking, that means if you want to repack this, then we can use like okay, I'm going to use f comma g comma h comma I equals to e. Okay, now what it will going to do means f is one variable, g is another, and h is another variable, I is another variable. So now these variables which are assigned to the values that is equals to whatever I'm going to write here, that means e has 1 2 3 4. So okay, it is like if I click enter, then if we check the value of f, and it is equals to 1, because here f will be mapped to this 1, and g to 2, and h to 3, and I to 4, like that. You can check the value of g and h and I. You can see it is 1 2 3 4, because here the the tuple which is e equals to 1 2 3 4. So this is called as the tuple or the sequence in the tuple. It is called as sequence unpacking. This is called as sequence unpacking, and I think you understand about this. The tuples may be nested. It can contain the multiple tuples, and it is mainly it is immutable. So I will just highlight all those points. I just use the notepad, and here you can see, okay, we are going to tuple, okay, points of a tuple, and here inside the tuple we can declare any tuple by using just a parenthesis. Okay, for example, a equals to, and okay, yeah, no parenthesis, just like this. If you want to define empty tuple, then you can use the parenthesis, or else it is just like 1 2 3 4. If you want to empty tuple, then we can just use a equals to like this. And if you want to just use the only one elements, yeah, it has to be 3 comma 4, yeah, 3 4 also okay. And yeah, you can even include the characters inside the tuple, like okay, here hi HEL, okay, I'm use this hello. In this way you can use any character, strings, or anything inside the tuple. It is not only restricted to the integers, or you can use this strings or any single characters like that. And if you want to use only one element inside the tuple, then that you can just by okay, here I'm going to use something okay, b, and here just put on comma. You need to just put on comma. Okay, I think it is yeah, here we not include this. Okay, because for only the tuple which do not contain anything, for that you need to just use the parenthesis, otherwise just define that and put on comma. This for a singleton, and this is for the 0. We can just write 0, no, the tuple which contains nothing. Okay, it is a empty pty, empty tuple. This is a empty tuple, and yeah, tuple spelling it's tuple. Okay, then here it is the okay, it is a singleton tuple, gsi and glton, singleton, and here I'm going to wrap a tuple, singleton tuple. And these are some features. And another thing is the tuples are immutable. That means we cannot able to alter the things. That means once we defined, we cannot able to alter its elements. And the next one is the tuples may contain nested tuples. That means we can even have the tuples which contains another tuple. Then what's that? Then you can contain, yeah, nested, and the tuples are immutable. Okay, the next one is the tuples packaging that you learned, and okay, tuples tuple, tuple packaging. It means if we give us any number, then it will just packaging. It is just like a defining a tuple packaging. And the next one is tuple. Okay, it's tuple. Then next one is yeah, next one what we learned is the tuple sequence unpacking. Unpacking, PACKING, unpacking. And another thing important is that this tuple, it can contain the the tuple is immutable, but it may contain the mutable objects. Okay, tuple may contain mutable okay, mutable objects. That we will see how the tuple can be contain the mutable object. Okay, for example, now I'm going to define something like r equals to, okay, yeah, this is my tuple, r equals to 1 comma 2 comma, and here I'm going to define one list. Inside the tuple I'm going to define one list. For example, here it is 10 comma 20 comma 30 and comma 40. Okay, now if I click the enter, now if you check the r, then you can see it is tuple because it is enclosed in the parentheses, or you can just use the type of r. Then you can see it is a, yeah, something ty, yeah, not the tupe, it's type type of r. Then you can see it is a class tuple. But this tuple contains a list that is mutable. The tuple is immutable. That means we cannot able to alter these elements. But the list which is inside this tuple is mutable. That means we can able to change the elements. We can able to alter the elements inside this list. But inside this tuple we cannot able to alter the elements. It's something confusing. Let's explore how we can change the elements which is inside the list that is inside the tuple. For example, now, okay, now I will just okay, I will just open Yeah, okay, we will see. Just ignore these things, error things. Just concentrate on. Okay, I will just print again. R equals to 1, 2, 10, 20, 30, 40. Now, if I check R of index value, this is 0, it is 1, and it is 2. At the index of 2, this what is that? This list is there. So inside this list, again the index starts from 0, 1, 2, and it's 3. So if I just want to access this 20, if I want to access this 20, then I can use R is my tuple, then R of 0, 1, and 2, 2 to index, and 2 the second index, that means 0, 1, 2. 2th index means it will come here, and inside this it is 0 and it is 1. So here I need to access this 1. Okay, now if I click enter, you can see it's 20. This 20 is mutable. That means these elements are mutable. For example, if I want to assign something, instead of 20, I will going to assign 400. Now you can see, if I click enter, it will not give us the error. It is inside the tuple. That is, the tuple is immutable. But since this R of 2 of 1, that means this 20, this element, the position of this element is inside the list, that is mutable. So now if we check the value of R, then you can see it contains the 400 here. But if we just assign R of 2, okay, now I will just change R of 1. R of 1, that means this one. R of 1 means it's 0th index and this 1th index. So the value is 2. So if I want, instead of 2, if I want to 10, then it will give us the error. Tuple object does not support the item assignment. I think you have understand how we can have the mutable objects, that means the elements which we can able to edit that inside the tuple, but if it's a mutable object. Otherwise inside the tuple we cannot able to edit its elements directly, we can redefine it. So I think you hope understand about all these things inside tuple. Let us say, and this one empty tuple, singleton tuple, and these are some of the main things. Tuples may contain the mutable. Okay, it is say objects objects. Yeah, thank you.